Hello, bicycles. My name is Hotsty, and welcome back to Factorio here with Space Age DLC. But this series will just cover the Nauvis part. And last time we set out and let out this nice hexagonal structure with our railways, but rails are no good if there are no trains using them. So that's what we will focus on today. So we'll need a few more things here. And we will add oil pumping station up here, which was one of our goals why we let it out as we did. We will ferry the crude oil down here where we will have a refinery, and then up here where we have this big coal field, we will have a fuel station for the train. So with the new interrupts, we can then send the train over there once it's low on fuel. And all this uses quite a bit of power. The radars are the most hungry items here on the list. So I think we will also add a bit more power production at the beginning, so we can be sure that we do not run into any issues right from the beginning. And what we also need to craft is a few pump jacks, because looking at our research, everything is either locked behind the military signs, which we don't have, or behind the fuel pumping, where we get then more progress towards chemical science. So we will have to do that as well. And hook everything up. The coal field is all hooked up, and we have a balancer down here with 5 outputs. So 4 going to the coal loading station, 1 to the refueling station. And the way we will do the refueling station is we will have a spur going off here and then rejoining there. And that's quite easy. And then we will have station here. We will name this fueling, and we will make this fueling with coal, because maybe further down the line we might have other fueling stations that use different fuels. So let's have it here. That's one train, and we can have a second train here. So we should have a limit of 2 trains on this station. so that any train coming in does not block the line here. And then there we will replace this signal like that. And we need to fuel the locomotive. And we will have that done via belt. And we will take this one here. Of course, I don't have enough. But you can see how this works. And we will have to be careful with connecting the power. Because for one, we might not have enough power, and for another thing was this field churning up, it will produce quite a bit of pollution out here, so we have to be ready to counteract any threat from our alien friends. And so far we see we have uncovered a bit more from the outside area here, and we finally also see that there actually are some cliffs around here, something that is lacking here in the middle part, which is quite handy because cliff explosives are quite a bit away. Let's place our first train here because it needs to be fueled up, and of course it will be an oil train. We make that distinction by coloring the train like this. Nice. And then let's bring power over, and we will see the pollution cloud jumping up. How are we looking with power? Yeah, we do not have enough, but I think first we need to deal with the alien threat. The closest nest is down here, so let's take care of that one. Not that difficult. Just spam some turrets and then repair them, collect them again. As long as we do have enough ammunition, even if it's only the yellow one, we should be okay for now. That's that part down here, but I think there is another nest up here. These two, yeah, they might become a bit too close for comfort. The setup of the oil field should not be too difficult. All we need to have here are a few pump checks. There might be a few trees in the way, but then we probably also need a few tanks, and a station to pick up the oil. But that's it. So let me figure this one out. After all, it was not that difficult. Here we have pickup station for our crude oil. We probably should set a limit to 2 trains here as well. And we also then might add a bit of logic to read out the fill status and set the priority accordingly. But I think that can at least wait until we have a second oil field. And if we now connect the power here, we have one connected. Apparently I missed one crucial pole there. And with that we have the research unlocked for all the other goodies. So let's queue some more things up that that we will need in short term. So we can research that. And then the last piece of the puzzle is, of course, the processing of the oil to all the other goodies. Now, when it comes to oil processing, there's the question, what exactly does that entail? Because traditionally, I said for the smelting, we want to smelt the ores at our mining patches. And that would basically then also mean we would process the oil where we are pumping it out. But as we also need water, that's not gonna happen. Instead, what I think I want to do is have the oil processing here and then basically have outputs for the petroleum gas, for the light oil, and for the lubricant. Because another thing we have to consider with these setups is how many train stations do we need and how many can we place. So we want to kind of limit the amount that we have to place there. So let's figure out this setup here. I will lay it out in a manner where we can also have beacons in between with all the intermediary steps. They will not come into effect right now because with this first step of oil processing, it's all raw oil, crude oil going into petroleum. But we want to make sure that we have the right ratio here. Right ratio is 5, 6, 7, 8 to 2, and then we will have 7 down here. Yes. Let me build this up, place in the stations, also the tanks, so we can store the crude oil but also the output liquids. Hopefully I placed everything correctly, and as we can see we have lots of space here, so this gives you an idea of the vastness of our setup that we can have. So let me run you through the design. Up here we have the delivery station for the crude oil, and we pump that into some tanks so we can also store it on this side. And then we have processing, for now just into petroleum gas, which we then store in these tanks, and that goes down here to a pickup station that has 4 trains that can be queued here. And then for future use we have the cracking of the heavy oil to light oil and light oil to petroleum gas, and here then also a setup where we will eventually have lubricant, but that's still a bit away. So we can also hook this pump up, so we can control these pumps here based on the amount of heavy oil we have in the tanks here. So last thing of course is we take this train, we add the oil pickup, we add the oil delivery, full cargo, empty cargo, and we also interrupt fueling coal. You can have coal icon here. Then what do we need? Fuel all locomotives. If we are lower than 50, then go to this station. Right? That should work out. So let's see if the train can manage the journey. At least it does not complain can't find paths. But it will not be a direct route, as we have no direct connection from the left to the right. Here we are pumping in our raw oil. And I think this one train will be sufficient for the one petroleum refinery station that we have. If we have more, then we might need more trains, but we will definitely see about that. I think the first thing that will happen is we need another oil field. And there we go. Okay. Why do we interrupt? Should be that way, I think. Yeah. But we can see the interrupt as a concept does work. We are going there. We decided we don't need it, so now we are going to the oil delivery. And after the oil delivery, here we then should see yeah, the refineries are kicking in, and after the delivery we should see it going back to the oil pickup because we still have enough fuel. At least I hope so. Once the tanks are emptied out. Yes. Nice one. Works like expected. I like that. And that's it for today. We will have to figure out what to do with the petroleum gas and how to make more progress towards research. Of course, one of the next big things will be the chemical science. And I think we are not quite there yet where we can retire this first base here, so probably it will be something where we deliver things somewhere around here, have proper setup for producing the materials, but then have something simple for the production of the science packs. But that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it and tune in next time when we do good things with all that petroleum gas.